did watch a couple more episodes of the show we're going to talk about, but I asked Ben before you joined the chat, why why isn't Carl Urban more popular? And I've realized, or Ben helped me realize slightly that like he is kind of popular,
Yeah.
but I feel
He's
like he should
he's
be
he's doing
a
all right.
leading man. I feel like he should be like a leading man,
Maybe
Well,
he's missing something to be a leading man. Maybe
or
like
maybe he's not pursuing it.
it's
Maybe he's
possible
happy
too.
doing what he's doing.
I don't know. What can you see him leading in?
He dominated Dread.
Yeah,
He was great in Dread. And he was in front of that.
and he did
Action
that
movies,
show.
I think he can. Action movies, I think he can do. That show, yeah, Almost Human. That was him and an android cop. He didn't like androids. Like, cool. I'm down.
Yeah.
I wish that show was long went on longer. He was the second. He was the support in Doom. Now I know that movie's not great, but I don't think anything about his performance was bad. I think just the movie's
You
written
know, in Star
poorly.
Trek. He was Bones. In
He
Star
was
Trek.
the main bad guy in Priest. That movie's terrible. But he was in it. I don't know what I could see him in as a lead. I guess maybe that's why
Yeah,
they haven't seen it. But I didn't know.
he's
Interesting.
except for Dredd, he's a smarmy guy in the background, or not the background, but you know
Yeah,
what I mean.
except for Lord of the Rings, which he was
Yeah.
a hugely important character. It's weird. The more I think about it, the more it's like, are there other leading men that weren't really leads until they were? You know,
Rock.
and
Yeah,
the line
Chris
kind of
Evans
the
was
Chris
Not
Evans for sure.
Chris
Yeah,
Yep.
Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Yeah,
Yep.
Um,
Any other Chris's?
Chris Tucker.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, Chris Tucker for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Interesting.
Huh.
Chris
So there is-
Glover.
Who?
Crispin Glover. I don't think he's ever been a lead though.
No, he was a
So there
villain in
is-
Charlie's Angels.
There is a thing that I guess those people have inherently, but do we know what it is?
What does it mean?
Because Chris Evans went from like shitty superhero movie to great, and I think it had to do with the writer and the writers and directors. Like,
Sure.
It's definitely
The
the
direction.
movie.
Direction
Yeah.
and yeah.
The right movie, the right role. And they got out of here,
yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to say then that Carl Urban's not a leading man because he doesn't want to be. Because he's been in Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, Dread. He's in The Boys now, and he was in Thor
Do you
Ragnarok. Like,
think-
he has all of the credentials to be a lead if he wanted it.
I
right?
think maybe after The Boys, right? Because it's huge.
maybe. Sure.
And now this
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
this is the role that someone's like, I like him in that. There's who is this the black guy in Lovecraft County just got cast
Oh.
into a movie, and I
Yeah,
can't
he's
remember
gonna-
what it was.
The Ant-Man 3. He's going to
Ant-Man
be
3,
King
he's
the
the villain.
Conqueror.
He's the villain.
Yeah.
So it's like someone saw Lovecraft and like, oh, this dude's fucking dope. Let's get him.
Sure. Sure.
So I think someone's gonna see The Boys and see Carl Urban. He already has a very impressive resume already.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. What is this guy's name? Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
The dude from Lovecraft Country. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. Is that how leading? I guess that's one of the main ways leading men are found. Is good shows because shows are no longer like a thing nobody watches.
No,
You know
yeah.
how AMC kind of changed the game with Walking Dead and Breaking Bad, and people were like, "Oh fuck, TV shows go hard."
Every time anyone says AMC, my mind has to wait a second to compute. Is it the network, TV network,
Network
or the
in the
movie
theater.
theater?
Yeah.
Like, which one
So-
is it?
Well, so HBO's been doing it obviously for a long time.
Yeah, but
it,
like
it
cable
went from it went from subscription HBO to AMC probably, right?
Yeah,
And then and now everybody's doing it. FX,
there's a really good show on Netflix that like discusses decades and
Mhm.
and their influence on like pop culture and shit. And the one about the 2000s is really interesting because they talk about how comedy shows were refounded. Like they showed that you could do good comedy creatively with Malcolm in the Middle, and Malcolm in the Middle helped establish Bryan Cranston as a good character actor, which led into Breaking Bad, which then established that like TV could be prestige
Yeah.
and how those things are all tied together. It's fucking wild.
Speaking of fucking wild,
Exactly.
how about
Let's
The
talk about
Boys?
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah,
that show's fucking nuts.
everyone's caught up. Did you catch up, Caleb? Or you still like
I'm
just
not
two
caught up.
behind?
I'm not caught up. I'm up to episode 3.5, 3 3/4. I'm at the point where they just Butcher was just called by the CIA chick that they have to go to a safe house now because the person they're trying to turn over to them knocked down a police helicopter. If that rings bells. Yes?
What?
And they're on the boat.
Yes.
It was,
Yes.
it was
Yes. Yes.
worded-
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
worded
and
strange.
the deep is about to like rejoin the Seven or whatever because he's in that weird shit.
The Deep
Yeah.
is so funny to me. Like he started off as a monster the first season. Like I
Mhm.
hated the Deep,
Yeah, sure.
but this season
Is-
he is fucking funny to me.
Is washout a good pun?
He's a washout. I mean, yeah, it's not terrible.
It gets that scene after where you're at, Caleb, gets so dark and
Yeah.
fast.
Well, season
Oh,
three
shit.
is
Okay.
season 3 is when Patton Oswalt plays his lungs and they're having a mushroom trip together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Episode 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to that.
Yeah, you did. You missed it.
You must have missed it.
Oh,
You missed it.
Oh, sorry.
he's laying
you
on the
said
bed.
You said plays his lungs, and I
Like,
thought you meant
plays
like
his
an
gills.
instrument because the show would not be the weirdest thing in the world to have someone do that. But you meant he's the voice of his lungs. I did not
Mhm.
realize he was the voice of his gills.
Mhm.
But yes, I have gotten to that. That's
Yeah.
just fucking
They were
weird.
s- They were singing together.
Yeah.
No, I think
It's
his
wild.
redemption arc is vastly interesting to me, and I like how they made him sort of gullible to the Church of the Light or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
So he just sort of another
Joe.
pun coming. Another pun coming. He bought into it, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
Right?
Good Lord. So mad.
Sorry, I'm floundering.
You're
But-
drowning us.
This whole thing's fishy. Let's move on.
Okay.
Man, when he was trying to pick a wife though, and he was like, "That's the one." That shit was
Yeah.
funny.
I love.
Uh,
Okay, so that was that episode 4?
Was that episode 4? No, this is. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was.
Okay.
Because that episode is cut, and you hadn't seen it, Caleb, but it's cut.
Yeah.
So fucking weird.
It is.
Like, and there's hard cuts between scenes with no context. So it
Sure,
starts
just
off
kinda
with
jumps.
an interview from women talking about love, and you're like,
Where does this
I don't
come
know.
from?
yeah. And Kim's like, did I miss something? I'm like, you and I both. And then it would cut to like Black Noir doing his thing, and they would smash cut. The whole episode of smash cuts. It was so cool.
Huh.
So
And then at the end you find out it's Deep trying to he's getting matched by the
By the
Church of
church.
the Light or whatever. Yeah.
there's this there's this comic book like plot twist with Black Noir that I'm dodging because it's like this really big thing. Has anyone read the
Hmm.
comic?
No, I
No.
have a very bad stigma in that I cannot read a comic if I don't like the art. That's why it's really hard for me to read a lot of Golden Age comics.
This is a
but
side note. The Umbrella Academy art to me is terrible.
it's not great.
It's really bad.
It's style.
Oh, I like Gabriel Bá's art.
I'll
a lot,
give
actually.
Umbrella a pass because it feels hyper stylized. I just think The Boys is I don't like it. I'm sorry. I think it's unattractive.
I don't know if I've seen it. I'm looking it up right now.
I need to look at it
nope.
again. Okay, yeah.
Nah.
But yeah, Umbrella Academy is very simple. It feels like the Fraction Hawkeye series in some instances. No, it's more extreme than that. You
What
don't like
does?
that, huh?
What feels like that?
Umbrella Academy? I take it back. Umbrella Academy kind of looks like it's interesting. It looks like Mignola a little bit. It looks like Hellboy, for those who don't know. It looks like a little
Gabriel
bit like
Bá's fucking dope.
yeah, interesting. No, I'm into that. But yeah, The Boys, everybody says I should read it. They say it's like 100 issues too, so there's a lot of material.
That's a lot of different
It's like-
characters that we've never even heard of.
Yeah.
Sure. And it's pretty
So-
different from the show in the first season, right? Wasn't there like a big thing going
Yes.
around where like the show
It's-
differed from the comics
it's-
pretty widely and people
Yeah.
didn't care?
Yeah, apparently it's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Mother's Milk character is like that's a big difference. Like I think he has in the comic book a milk obsession. In the show, they gave it to Homelander. So
oh,
that's
well,
what I
hold
heard.
on a minute.
I think
because a name like Mother's Milk makes sense.
Or exactly.
What a weird disconnect. Yeah, I don't like this art at all. I'm sorry.
Which one?
The Boys.
Yeah, it's not.
No, I think Umbrella Academy is. I could understand why nobody would. I can understand why somebody might not like it if it's just not your bag or whatever. But The Boys just looks extremely. I don't want. I'm not gonna poo on somebody's art. I'm not. It's not for me. Looks kind of amateur, but whatever. It's now a fucking best-selling everything. So whatever it takes.
there.
Right?
Yeah, it's like literally a dream come true for someone who makes comics, like for what's happening to them.
If I paused it at the credits and I said, "Kim, see Dynamite? See the Dynamite thing? They're just like a pebbles throw away from Red 5. Dynamite is not Image. They are not.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously,
sure.
they're not obviously Marvel and DC. Like Dynamite's pretty small in comparison.
Well, Vault.
So
Vault's another small comic outfit, and they just got a book deal too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So
or a movie deal.
Yeah.
Speaking of V words, what is your favorite Vought villain or hero?
Yeah.
Wait. Vought villain, like VOD villain?
Probably not.
Is that on purpose?
No, probably not.
All right. Anyway,
I'm
favorite
a big
that I actually
Homelander
like?
fan. I like Homelander.
Fuck off,
I don't know
you're
why,
not.
dude. I do, man. I like
Get the fuck
Homelander
outta
a lot.
here.
It's a senseless murder. Is that what you like?
It's just like, did you see his face when he realized he can't? Like, can you fly a plane? He was like, no, like.
Okay, the guy acts his ass off.
Everything
that's
he said. Well, can you fly into it? I'll just probably punch through the cabin. Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, they're fucked. Like, his acting is fucking great to me, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, he's very well performed. I don't like him though.
I do though. I do. He's such an asshole. He's evil.
I need to find out what the fuck that guy's done another. I've never seen him before this show.
Oh my god. I just saw a video the other day that like why is he familiar type videos on Looper, I think, and he's done a bunch of stuff that I've really never heard of. But he did some TV shows and things like that. This is definitely his big breakout role, I think.
Yeah, it is. So I get liking the Homelander like as a well-rounded character. He's not my favorite though.
He's my favorite.
He's my least favorite. Fuck that guy.
He is fucking hilarious, dude. He's so evil that he's lazy, and like he literally lasers everyone. Like,
yeah, and he's so gross too, and obsessive, and like clingy, and like smelling people's clothes.
His weakness is his mind. Like
sure,
like you can psychologically fuck with him.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah,
easily.
He's only the most powerful physically.
I fucking hate him so much. Every time he's on screen, I'm like, I just want to punch him in the fucking mouth.
What man?
It's the worst. I wouldn't because
you'd break your hand.
It would end poorly.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Butcher. Billy Butcher.
That's not Vought. He's not a Vought tool.
Oh, okay, all right, all right. We'll go categorized. Okay,
yeah, right.
Okay, we're starting with Vought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, they're all kind of gross. Like the best, yeah, I agree that Homelander's like the best performed. Like he gets the job done. That you want to hate him. He's the Joffrey of the series, right? Everybody's gonna hate him.
Sure.
And I bet somebody's gonna send him an email and they actually hate his real life person because they hate his character so much.
Sure.
As people tend to do. I don't know. Some of them just sort of feel placeholder, but I also said like I like to watch the Deep's character arc. It's pretty interesting to watch him like fall from grace and then try to claw his way back. I do like Black Noir a lot. He just seems sort of flawless and purposeful.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of a personality. Like with the last episode, he was hanging out with that girl in the security room while she tries to find Billy Butcher. And I don't know, he just has this sort of attitude about him. And I think that episode's the first time we really see that there's a character underneath the outfit.
Well, he does it a couple times in season 2. Season 1, no, not at all. But season 2, there's the moment where he kills the soup terrorist and then walks through that bedroom
with the little bunny.
His face is missing.
Yeah, he has that
little
little
bunny. That bunny at the kid and starts dancing it.
That's true.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
And he puts it down and just leaves. And then when Vought gets outed for Compound V, he's like watching the video and sitting on the floor crying.
Yeah.
Which is like, what?
Yeah.
So there's some character. I don't know what the fuck any of this is gonna mean for his like arc. But yeah, I like him, but he's also
maybe they're gonna dedicate an episode to him.
Be great.
Yeah, you know,
keep him a whole episode.
Keep him a mystery for 18 episodes, and then just give an episode entirely to him.
Oh, do you know who's going to come back in one of these? Who's going to come back as far as a point in the story that we've heard about in the first season, but we've never met? Lamplighter.
Okay, I need a refresher.
The dude that Starlight replaced in the 7.
Right, the guy that went missing or whatever.
Mm-hmm. He's been cast, and he's supposed to be coming up in an episode, and that's pretty cool.
Okay.
So like we're gonna be revisiting a lot of first season stuff. Like he was, I think the boys had something to do with him not being there, if I remember correctly, because I am watching season 1 again.
Okay.
So
interesting. Yeah.
This character design looks fucking dope.
Yeah, he's got like a fire lamp as a staff or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Wait, did they cast Shawn Ashmore as Lamplighter?
It looks like it, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Mother's Milk, according to the comics, got his name because due to in the comics he has Compound V in him. So
yes,
that's also
yes.
separation. Due to the Compound V in his body, he had to continue nursing from his mother until he was at advanced age, and possibly continues nursing to this day.
Yeah.
When he was a child, his mother tried to wean him multiple times, but he got progressively sicker and weaker each time until his heart stopped. Okay, weird.
Yeah, so
right.
Mother's Milk.
Muscle
Milk, which is the thing. Mother's Milk may have powers in the show, which is a spoiler alert, but
you gotta say that before you say the spoiler.
I said spoiler alert.
This whole episode is spoiler alert, so
yeah, it's true. Just throw spoilers in the tag before people listen to it.
And we don't know for sure. Everything we're talking about is already out, and
also, yeah, sure.
As you know, just speculation from us. We haven't read the books, and we don't know the future. Is anyone like A-Train?
Speak for yourself.
No, it's fucking despicable and awful.
It's horrible what he did to Pop Claw.
Yeah,
that was pretty bad.
Yeah. He's the perfect embodiment. So a lot of things in this show are playing on a lot of stereotypes. You know, with especially with the introduction of Stormfront, a lot of tropes that they're just running with. So obviously, A-Train is the steroid athlete trope that just makes really bad decisions and then makes worse decisions to fix those decisions. And it's just a fucking snowball of bad decisions, and it just keeps getting worse. So, and then it's interesting to see where they go from here. Caleb, sorry, but of course Homelander tells him he's out in episode 4.
Why'd you tell him that?
Because we're talking about episode 4. Are we going to try to not talk about episode 4?
Well, we don't have to talk about the right plot points that he hasn't seen. It's only like half an episode and a half. Then there's a whole other season we can talk about.
I guess, yeah.
And 3.5 episodes of season 2. We don't have to talk about the 1.5 he doesn't know.
All right.
But hey, so you know, A-Train gets asked to leave the 7.
I mean, that makes sense. He's kind of a shit person.
He can't run.
Did you see him in the tunnels?
He's got heart problems. Yeah. No, the last thing I saw was him leaving the strip club and palpitating and like holding his chest.
Okay.
And then having conversations with people on 99.
It's interesting
and
because
then being like, "You look like shit."
You know what happens to athletes, to those bodybuilders with steroids in real life is their organs grow. So like all their muscles grow, including their heart, which is kind of what happened to Rich Piana, and that's what's happening to A-Train. His heart's growing.
Sure.
They told him that in season 1. But it was like a really quick little blur from the doctor.
Well, he was taking V to stay on top, but now he's off it. So are we sure this just isn't some sort of deprivation from V that's sending him into decline, or was it the fact that
I think he fucked his heart up already with the V, because it was in season 1 when the doctor said, or it might have been his brother who said, you gotta stop taking this shit.
Yeah, because he's like constantly taking it. Not
like you're not supposed
to
single
injection.
Yeah. You get powers. It's a baby. You're not supposed to take it. And like you're not supposed to re-up on it, basically.
I love the analogies of season 2 where Caleb, you said that you saw them expose Vought, right?
Yep.
And that like it just sort of doesn't have an effect.
It doesn't work.
It's so indicative of what we're going through now, where you think like this some big fucking huge bombshell and then nothing changes.
Yeah, and you're like, this has to be it. Like, oh shit, okay, cool, they got him. This is it, right? Nope. Keep on moving. I mean, it's kind of a look on corporations and their control.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. The reason I touched on this a minute ago, and I sort of forgot to follow up with it. But there's so much of this show, of course, that is direct correlation to everything now, especially with introduction of Stormfront, who is getting all this public support. You know, she's got her own fans and stuff like that. And I guess we're avoiding spoilers, but she does some pretty despicable things, of course, in episodes 3 and 4 that people on Twitter have said, okay, I'm done with this show now because of it. Because she's a direct symbol of trauma to many people.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, okay.
Many particular people. You know, when I watched it, if you watch it.
Wait. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
When you watch it, you don't know why she's like you don't really understand why she's doing what she's doing.
Right. You do after episode 4 though.
But yeah, after episode 4, you're like, holy shit, dude. It makes that scene even worse.
Yeah.
It does.
What happened, Tech? As I asked Tech after episode 3, I'm like, people really hate this season, this episode, and I think I know why, but it's not obvious to me. And then Tech said it, and okay, it's not a big spoiler. She kills some people, whatever. She's just as evil as the rest of them.
Yeah, I think I know this specific conversation happened in the Google chat.
Yeah.
And Tech was like, the whale or the hero that only kills black people? So I have a feeling.
So what happens
is the thing we're talking about.
It's just a villain fight, and they go through an apartment complex, sort of like Batman and Superman do, and a bunch of people die.
59.
But they made a bunch.
59,
but they made a point to show only black people dying, and I was just like, well, this maybe is. I don't know. It sort of it affected me, but not to the point where like, oh, this is a problem. But of course, since episode 4, they like solidified it.
The first time I saw it, I was like, why is she only doing that to?
But but you know what's interesting about that episode, Tech, is they didn't show. 59. At least I don't remember.
They didn't show 59. They showed 5.
But I don't remember her like skipping people. I just remember her killing everybody she ran into. You know what I mean? If they would have shown like her sparing these people, but then killing these, it would have locked in. But they didn't show people she didn't kill.
I think that's maybe the point, right? Is because the reveal is that she hid it behind the collateral damage. So when you first see it happening, you're like, oh, collateral damage. And then you find out, oh no, she wanted you to think that was just collateral damage. Yeah.
So maybe it was a bit of a bury the lead because it worked on me.
Yeah.
But people who watched episode 3 spotted it right away.
People who are woke, bro.
Yeah, obviously. I'm anti-woke.
I definitely picked up on it immediately.
Like, it was a hint for me, but
it was more like, is this one of them Hollywood bullshit thing? Because for a while the black person died in the first scene of every movie, like that was just what the thing, or like why? Like, it's interesting how they made that a plot point, and like even if it's like low key, like a low key plot, it's interesting, No,
I think them chasing down the lead in episode 4. And sort of figuring out who she is.
Yeah,
it's definitely a big plot point now. And the fact that she has fans and followers, crazy. The writers are just like, hey, how about that 2020, huh? So yeah, it's directly intentional. And I'm sure a lot of people are.
Well, shit, you have like the 7 is literally the worst, right? You have sex offenders, murderers, rapists, which is the same as sex offenders.
And then
why wouldn't you have racists?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But here, yeah.
I feel like Homelander is racist as fuck.
He absolutely is. Yet. No, he is. He absolutely is. Like when his son was learning Spanish, and he's just like, "Let's go play baseball."
That for sure.
Yeah.
You want to keep learning? You want to come outside and see something cool, and then he fucking throws him off the roof.
Oh my god!
But the surprise though was.
Oh,
that was a big surprise for me.
I jumped off the couch.
Like the kid, and then the fact that like she's in the facility, like didn't realize that at all.
Yeah, she drives to the fucking wall. I was like, what?
Yeah, it was a very Truman Show moment.
Yeah.
But
Yo,
yeah,
kids snapping on him and being like, "Leave us alone, fuck off."
I was yelling. I was like, yes, thank you.
Yeah. She told
but
Birdie.
here's the question.
No.
Was it genetically passed down? Okay, all right. Couple questions. Bear with me till I'm at the end. All right. So does Homelander, don't answer yet. Does Homelander know that he was injected as a kid? If he does he think it can get passed down genetically? Or skip those two, or include them all. Does he know that? And does he think the kid got it genetically, or does he know the kid has powers because he injected him?
I think the whole point is that the kid had it genetically.
Interesting. I didn't know that was in the universe.
I think
people given Compound V, if they have kids, have powers.
Okay.
But people didn't just get them randomly. It was this development, and then they were
But now it's genetic.
Yeah.
But did he know that for sure? He certainly acted like he did.
He did. I don't think he knew at the moment that he'd been injected. So he was like, "You're my son. Of course you have him, because you're my son."
Well, so he knew by then that he's injected.
Was he legitimately?
He knew in season 1, didn't he? Yeah, he knew in season 1 because he was injecting people terrorists all over the world to create terrorists.
Duh.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. So was he legitimately crestfallen when his kid hit the ground, thinking, "Oh shit, maybe he doesn't have powers"? And then because again, 180.
Did you see his reaction when he did? He threw the kid. Kid went flat, and he went. That was it. He didn't go, "Oh no!" He went like he was upset. He was like, "Damn it, fucking just use your powers." Like he was so confident.
I'm sorry. He's a great character. He's a horrible great character, dude.
Yeah.
His nuances are insane.
Yeah. There's rumors going around about who what's her name? Stormfront? Who Stormfront is?
Oh, you'll know after episode 4.
You'll know episode 4.
Mm-hmm. So don't go digging. You'll figure it out.
I won't go digging.
But the comic version, and this isn't really indicative of the show.
Isn't the comic version the dude?
It's a guy who's a legitimate reincarnated Viking, and he's got a swastika on his cape.
Yeah, he was built by the Nazis or some shit.
Yeah, he can control the weather. So
I like the actress that plays Stormfront.
She's snappy.
She's in other stuff, and I can't.
Aya Cash, which is an amazing name for a human being. Anytime your last name is Cash or Outlaw, you win. You win the name battle.
Yeah.
Or is that that might be the character's name, or is that her name? That's her name. That's her name. Aya Rachel Cash.
No, I like her acting. She's smarmy and hilarious.
Yeah, she's a good. So I think prediction wise, we all know that Espinitos. How do you say his last name?
Esposito's
character.
Esposito.
Put her in position because you need to neutralize Homelander.
Sure. Oh, sure. I didn't even think it was being intentional.
No, yeah, she's 100% there for a purpose.
He has so little screen time.
But yeah, well, he's like, I think he's
gonna be a big shadow puppet.
Yeah. And there's gonna be a point where they're gonna go, him and Homelander are gonna go head to head on some like same way that he went head for head with Madeline in season 1.
Sure. Oh my God! Can we talk about that season 1 finale when he just fucking bores her skull out, her eyes out of her skull?
I mean, when she admits to him that she's scared of him, and then like his reaction again, he's out acting everyone in the room. I feel like it was spot on.
Yep.
With Billy Butcher looking on,
Yep.
Yeah, it's looking great.
It's really good. I mean, they have really strong moments in this show. And that's definitely one of them, dude. I didn't expect that at all. Especially how much he is like kind of weirdly obsessed with her. Like he would just stare at a picture, but really be staring at her, eavesdropping and for long periods of time.
Yeah, just looking or listening through the walls or whatever.
Yeah, like not even hiding the fact that he's doing it. All right, let's talk about The Boys. We haven't talked about The Boys for real.
We haven't yet. Yeah, let's do it.
Who's your favorite?
We've not talked about any of the other. We have 2 women character we left out, but.
Well, Starlight is so wholesome.
Do
you know how powerful she is? I think they kind of downplay how powerful she is, dude. She took 2 sniper rounds, mid-range to the chest and got up. You guys remember that?
Okay, so they mentioned in season 2 that she's bulletproof.
She's bulletproof, yeah.
And that bounced off me, if you will, because I didn't remember that.
Yeah, she was in a park. She was confronting Huey for lying about everything, and then Billy Butcher shoots her with a fucking sniper rifle at like 50 yards away, maybe less.
Yeah.
She takes 2 of them. I mean, she drops, but she takes 2 of them and gets back up.
Wow.
And then in the very first episode, you can see her lifting a car, so they don't talk about her super strength.
Yeah.
So she has super strength.
So she's sort of untapped.
And she can control electricity, right?
And she absorbs electricity and shoots it out. Which they never really explained that part of her power, like in the show.
No.
It's just
there's a lot that's unexplained, but
I like that the show's like, we're not going to give you origins. Just these people can do these things.
Thank fucking God.
Deal with it. I'm all right with that. I'm
over origins.
Well, this is the one time that we probably could use origins. This is like for a lot of people who knew.
But I don't care. It's so good without it, you know?
Well, because they get right to it, and that's the depressing part of it.
Could we have gotten that with Daredevil, please? Like, I just don't care. Oh, I'm a little Bastion kid that loved to box, and now I'm a blind crime fighter.
That was such a small part of that show. I forgot that was in the show.
God, it's just shut up.
Is that your Boston accent? What accent was that?
I don't know. I don't know what that was. I didn't know Daredevil's origin story. I was glad for it.
Oh wow, yeah.
And then that's the problem with Defenders. We got everybody's backstory. It's just a backstory is fucking snooze.
You didn't get Luke Cage's backstory. You got it like later.
You did later.
Moments,
You're
which
right.
Is how you
and that's why it was so good. That's why it was so good.
Sprinkle that bitch in.
Yeah.
Yeah, heroes that don't know their origins and then find them out is cool. But you don't want to start with the origin.
You don't want to start in Crime Alley.
That's true.
Well, yeah, the Batman's the most egregious example. Yes.
Or Peter Parker. I'm tired of that.
Or
shit
Uncle
too.
Ben.
They skipped it completely with Tom Holland.
And it was fucking great.
And it's great.
You don't give us a backstory for 75-year-old characters, please. Anyway.
We did it for Miles Morales, though, and nobody complained.
I've been a strong proponent for movies starting in the middle for a long time. Like the Tom Cruise movie, the Live, Die, Repeat, started in the battle.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. And I fucking love it. I love it when movies start in the middle. Minority Report, Minority Report didn't show you the birth of pre-crime.
Why was it fine when Into the Spider-Verse was basically just the first Spider-Man movie? Him getting bit, him killing his uncle, dying, him becoming. Why is
because it was in the middle of already existing Spider-Man, in a way.
But it's still
Miles is pretty new.
Miles is
okay, right? So it's directly tied to origin stories you've seen too much before.
Not necessarily. Spider-Verse is an interesting case because it's so goddamn stylized and it feels so fresh. There's not really any movies like that, to be honest. Sure. It really isn't. So, and I imagine if they ever made a Static Shock movie, it would hopefully be something similar,
They're gonna give Static's origins. They've got to.
Yeah, but it's just an aesthetic thing. Just drop me in. I don't care about the origin. Show me some fun shit. Origin stories, by and large, are a very slow storytelling process.
Do you know who Huey's father and mother is in real life?
It's Dennis Quaid.
I didn't know that. You guys knew
that?
Yeah. We just talked about that the other night.
There's a moment in episode 2 where he's on the phone with Starlight and he's like facing the camera, and it's the only time because he's also in Logan Lucky, which is a really good heist movie with Channing Tatum and Daniel Craig. It's actually very good. And Adam Driver. I've seen him in a couple things, and I've always been like, God, he's Dennis Quaid's son. He doesn't even look like him. There was one scene in episode 2 where I was like, oh shit, and I like rewound it, paused it, and then found a picture and held it up so Amanda could look at them next to each other, and she was like, oh shit, yeah.
What's nice about Amazon though is if you pause it,
they have the actors in the scene.
It tells you who's in the scene at the moment, and sometimes it'll play you the song that's playing in the background. Pretty fucking awesome.
It's not gonna have Dennis Quaid. It's not gonna have Dennis Quaid on there though.
Well, it's gonna have Jack Quaid, and you'll be like, hold on a minute.
Well, see, exactly I knew he was his kid, but I didn't think they looked alike.
Just now, I was looking at the name Jack Quaid, and then I was like, wait, and then I looked at, I searched it just now. Like, yeah, okay.
You were like, wait, oh shit, oh shit, yeah. Yes, I like Huey a lot.
I
his
liked him in
story.
season 1.
Like his arc.
Season 2, he's sort of shell shocked, if that's even an okay phrase to use anymore. But he's definitely like zapped. He's
pissed and
no,
he's
he's
drowning,
traumatized.
Yeah,
and he's using YouTube videos to like as salve. He's just watching old 80s music videos to just sort of like mute out life. So Kamiko's interesting, right?
She is.
I like Kamiko.
Yeah. I don't
Frenchie's cool.
Frenchie is amazing because he was abused, and now his mission is to help people who are abused.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Frenchie's my favorite character in the Boys.
I think Mother's Milk is mine.
Mother's Milk's up there.
I just dig him, dude. Like he's just like he always comes through and says the right thing to keep the whole train moving.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like he's like definitely like the glue almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Like his speech, I don't know if you got to it yet, Caleb, but he has a speech to Billy about Huey that like I thought was an amazing speech. Yeah, it's like you're literally a minute away from it. Where if you stopped with the deep riding whale, you're like 2 minutes away from that speech. Yeah. That quick little speech. I like Mother's Milk a lot.
He's great. Frenchie's girlfriend's a fucking smoke show. Not Kamiko, no. The other one.
Oh my god, yes. Oh my god.
Oh, I don't know of her yet.
You know, she's in season 1. She's in season 1.
Oh, she's in season 1. Okay.
Yeah, she's a smoke show.
Oh, Sherry, the French.
Sherry, yeah.
I don't Jordana yep. Jordana LaJoie, maybe. LAJOIE.
LaJoie.
Yeah, because we were watching in season 2, and Kim's like, she looks like one of your video game characters. She doesn't look real. Like it's the eye makeup. She looks CG.
Is she in season 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's there for a
moment. I don't remember her being in season 1.
Yeah, she's a lot. She's the one who when they get burnt, he calls her and says we're burnt, and like she causes the big distraction. Why they're killing? Why they have translucent?
Yeah, right, she's the partner in crime.
Yeah, she's local. Yeah, she local. Does some shit.
And side piece, but yeah, she's
dope.
Exotique.
Dope. Yeah, I didn't remember her at all. See, I watched season 1 in a day, so I didn't even give myself the time to like.
You know what I've been doing?
Think about it. I fucking burned it. It was when I was working 2 jobs, and I had like a day off of both. And Amanda took the kid to the in-laws, and I was like, I'm not doing shit then. I just watched the show to recharge all day. It was great. It was great.
I find a lot of pleasure in rewatchings. I've been rewatching shit lately, like shit that I like, and I've seen it once, but like I work and watch shit sometimes, or like so I lose a lot of shit. I feel like so I saw the Umbrella Academy twice, season 1 and 2 twice, and now I'm doing the same thing with The Boys. Wherever I'm almost done with season 1 again, while I'm watching season 2. So I enjoy it because you pick up on these things that you wouldn't have picked up on before.
For sure. I don't know if I've ever watched a dramatic show a second time. I watch comedy shows repeatedly all the time, but I don't think I've ever watched a.
Would you call this a dramatic?
A dramatic show? Yeah,
it's like an action. Drama. It's a drama action though. Like I take it as such because it's wrapped around superheroes and it's something that I like.
Sure,
the only things that me and Caleb tend to just put on repeat in the background are comedies.
I just watch The Office and Community and Parks and Rec constantly.
It's not like we're
how
gonna
many times
stream.
have you guys seen that?
I've probably seen The Office all the way through like 6 or 7 times at this point.
Incalculable.
Yeah, Community is probably up there too.
Shame.
It's just radio. It's just radio for me.
I don't do it instead of watching something new. I do it like I don't sit down at night with my family and watch The Office or Community. I throw that on when I'm working and I don't have to focus. If I'm going to watch something new, I want to be able to sit down and do it. I rarely do that while I'm working. Although I did do that for Altered Carbon season 1. I watched it while I was.
I still haven't seen that show.
Ooh, missing out, man.
Yep.
Tech, how many times have you listened to Ready to Die?
Ready to Die? Did you just Google the hip hop albums so you can relate to me?
No, it's Notorious's album. How many times have you listened to it? You've got his tattoo on your arm.
Not Ready to Die? Not a lot. I didn't like that album that much.
Oh, well.
And I'm not bullshitting you. I didn't listen to that album. I have not listened to the album a lot. Now, if you just said Life After Death, then you had a good one.
Okay. So Incalculable, right?
Incalculable.
Right.
But also, that's what art is, though. You know, like that's what you're supposed to.
Yeah.
You're supposed to watch
speaks
things
to you.
over and over. Like it's okay to watch a show 10 times. I watched movies 100 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen
Aaron
the
won't
Social
watch
Network
White Man Can't
30
Jump with
times.
me. It came on one time. Listen, it came on one time, and within 30, like maybe 5 minutes, she says, "I can't watch this with you," and turn it off.
Yeah, because you wouldn't shut up, would you?
I would literally just can just sit there and just mindlessly recite the entire movie word for word.
So next time, if there is a next time, you have to control yourself so
And
you
shut
can
the fuck
enjoy
up.
watching the movie with her.
Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
shut the
Yeah.
fuck up.
Charlie does that for Frozen, and I hate it. She can sing all the songs, and she can quote most of the lines.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it is amazing. Her retention's very good, but I never thought I'd have to like tell my kid to stop. We're watching a movie and she's quoting every line. It's fine because Amanda hates.
That's a hard concept to teach a child.
Yeah, I say stop, and she's like, "What?" And I'm like,
"Why? What am I doing? I'm not shitting on the carpet. What's wrong?"
Right. I'm just vibing. I'm just vibing with Frozen.
I'm not shitting on the carpet.
Oh my god, I love this fucking cover. God, that makes me want to read a Marvel book. U.S. Agent. Jesus.
I can't
That's
see.
super good.
Showstopper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
U.S. Agent's gonna be in the Marvel in the Hawkeye and nope. Good lord, that name show needs a better name.
Agents of Shield.
No,
it's over.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh, cool.
They just cast the lead for She-Hulk tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was animated though, wasn't it?
Tatiana Maslany.
No, I thought it was a Disney Plus one.
She-Hulk series.
Not animated. I didn't think it was animated.
No, she's getting her own show, I think.
Yeah.
Badass.
Live action She-Hulk show.
What is she known for?
Tatiana Maslany.
Nothing that I saw. Like I looked at her IMDb.
So many people said perfect. Like why?
She was in Orphan Black. She was dope in that show.
Okay.
Orphan Black's great.
So I guess the okay, and then they'll
she's
just
in Perry Mason, which is a really big show on HBO right now. I haven't watched, but
okay. So they'll just CG her for the Hulk version, like
why wouldn't they?
Like Ruffalo, yeah.
Yeah.
because She-Hulk's typically not as large as Hulk.
No, she gets tall though, dude, and she gets ripped.
Yeah.
It's a much leaner Hulk look.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not like a bundle of grapes like like the Hulk is.
I feel like when we were at San Diego Comic-Con last year, that's when I picked up on The Boys, like because it was everywhere.
Yeah,
sure.
And that's when I started getting excited for it. Do you feel like the hype leading into it was worth it? Do you feel like it cashed out?
Yeah, I think it picked up, took off, delivered right away.
What makes it different? What makes it special?
It wasn't like wait to episode 3 or just watch the first season. It you know what I mean? Like when Huey's girlfriend.
I think I was bought in when Huey's boyfriend got liquefied. I was like,
oh, girlfriend Robin.
Yeah, Huey's girlfriend got liquefied. I was like, oh shit.
Yep.
Yeah, like
I was gonna talk about this.
My mouth. It was literally like, as far as the show goes, it's very few times where you're watching it and you just like your mouth drops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
or you say holy shit really loud.
Yeah. like it gave me that moment.
Yeah.
And it was a powerful way to start a show.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
then
I think
it does it multiple times, right? Because like later when fucking Homelander and
Maeve
go up into that plane and he's like, no, it's not gonna work.
That plane is an amazing scene. I watched that.
Really
I watched it twice. I just watched it right before like we did this. It's such a good scene.
Yeah.
And like when he yells at the get the fuck back or I'll fucking laser you.
Yeah.
And like you can just see his eyes and like, and then you can imagine the horror of being on that flight. You know what I'm saying?
You're dying, you're crashing in a plane, and Homelander is screaming at you. Like,
well, Homelander shows up and you're like, yeah, and then he starts to leave. And you're like, the fuck are you doing? And it's just gonna leave you to die? Fuck.
That was his linchpin for his defense fund.
Yeah, the way he fucking manipulates it. He's like, if we were in the military,
we could have saved him.
We would have stopped this.
Yeah.
And it's like, you shit bag. Oh God.
And it's technically it was his fault. The plane goes down.
Oh, it's yeah, absolutely.
So I think the reason I like it so much is because just like Sin City, I know comics can be so much more. Even Umbrella Academy, as good as it is, feels a little flat to me at times. But this just feels like just raw comics. Just like Sin City, this just feels like raw comics on film. You know,
Sure.
the way people act, the gore, just like the no holds barred, just fuck it sort of attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody is so used to Marvel and DC cutting, not cutting corners, but trimming the fat and just like
making it
these are superheroes and long speeches and fight for justice, and then it's like, no, fuck that. These are shitty people making shitty decisions. It just feels like a comic to me, and it feels like a comic I would make, or something like that, or somebody in my circle would make. I don't know, something like that. It just feels.
It feels
pretty
real.
Distinctly like Kirkman too, like Walking Dead. Like it's a show that's like, you like people, cool. We're gonna kill a bunch of them.
Yeah,
and we're not gonna bat an eye about it. Like,
and
people die all the fucking time in this show, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, but they also focus on like and this is also just maybe me, and maybe it's nice to have this now in this weird time we're in. That they're focusing on humanity's most negative traits, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Plus
sexual assault, murder, lies, like, and
the show kind of had its finger on the pulse for like, people with power abuse it.
Yeah, it's like that's a big thing I was gonna say is like, like the what do you guys call it? The bootlicker, like the adoration of
authority.
Yeah,
sure.
like, and behind closed doors, they're just the worst. They're actually the villains.
Well, see, I have a slight bone to pick with this. That's great for exemplifying the showrunners' views on society right now, bootlickers and all that stuff, and corporations and all that stuff. But there have been studies to say that like the whole zombie apocalypse, the way the zombie apocalypse has been told in stories like Train to Busan and stuff like that, like humanity is in groups is generally good. So like Train to Busan and The Walking Dead typically wouldn't happen that way. Because most people will band together and make a society and build a wall and everything will be fine.
I don't think that's true though. Like
I was reading
I'll try to find that
pathologist.
thing.
There's like a pathologist or somebody who was like, look at COVID. Like, there have been huge groups of people that have banded together and helped each other, and industry has developed into helping you not have to go and get things from the grocery store. Like, all of these things have grown in an effort to help.
And I think you have people like that, but then you also have people who don't give a fuck. And I think what they're trying to say is those people will survive longer than the good people.
I think I'm going to try to find this study. I'll waste too much time trying to find it, but I think what they're trying to say is that the number of people who will band together and act on humanity's best interests far outnumber the assholes. Because like Train to Busan and stuff like that makes you think you're surrounded by assholes.
Because
and that's the downfall of society.
I think you are though, dude. Because like there's a pandemic we could have put a fucking pin in the fucking whatever the phrase is a long time ago, and now we're hitting 200,000.
But on a global scale, it was nipped in the bud.
But
so let's look at statistics, right?
But what's it gonna do for us if a zombie apocalypse pops off? We're gonna have to fight Jeff County people. We're gonna have to fight West County people. Like,
I think one of the bigger things too, though,
we might band together. The city band together, but them counties not.
Yeah, I think one of the bigger things too, when you think about like a more serious situation, is like we're using all of our best conclusions we can draw from COVID, and like most of the problem with this has been like people unsure or unwilling to believe information that's not always been clear. But if it's like, yo, zombies, no one can deny that shit. So like,
people would be like, nah, it's not true.
It would be handled differently.
Man,
I feel like it would have to be handled.
I don't think it would. This feels like a topic for another episode, because I feel like we can go off on this one. Like,
sure, yeah, we should. We talked about apocalypses before, but I don't think we talked about how likely.
Listen,
yeah,
Trump is gonna say it's fake news, and his legion's gonna believe him.
and then they'll all get zombified, and the smart people will have holed up and ignored them saying it's fake. Humans would be the zombie apocalypse.
It's all good, but you're underestimating how many Trump supporters live next door.
Maybe you're Maybe you just hate too many, or think too many people hate openly, right? Maybe you're just like, everybody sucks.
I think that.
Yes.
Yes. We do know this.
It's a fact that I think like this. I blame New Jersey.
So do you think if we had superheroes for real, they would be like this or the MCU?
Oh.
They would. Humans are self-serving, and someone with power will be self-serving as well.
Counterpoint: as a devout atheist, humans often think in a community and try to do things that reflect the way they want the world to be. You know, like I rape and kill exactly as many people, and that number is 0, right? Like that's what I want. I don't want the society to be like that. So I'm going to. Also, I'm not wired that way. So if I were a wired raper, then I would have something to say. But you know what I'm saying? Like people are wired and have different things to say. So I'm wired this way, so I talk this way. But anyway, I still think most of the people put their shopping carts back.
Oh my God, you guys are.
You follow? You follow?
You guys are so pure,
right?
Dude.
Most people put their shopping carts back. So I think so let's extrapolate human nature and give everybody, let's say everybody gets laser eyes all of a sudden. Give everybody the exact same power.
Terrible idea.
It's
it's not
going to be the end of the world. The good laser eyes are going to have to reel in the bad laser eyes. It's just human nature, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have if the MCU existed, there'd be villains too.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying everyone who has powers is going to be good, but I'm also not going to say everyone who's going to have powers is going to be bad.
Oh, so here's something to think about. In the Marvel universe, let's say you look at the Marvel encyclopedia, statistically, are there 200 heroes and 200 villains? Is it 50-50?
In a world in which someone can write the story, then I'm sure it's not obviously equal, but it's probably pretty damn close.
See, that's interesting to me because I feel like with my shopping cart theory, there would be 200, 300 heroes and like 10, 15 villains.
There'd be some assholes walking the cart down the street, bro. Like,
yeah. Or
you ever see a cart that wasn't like a Target cart and you know when you're a Target?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's always gonna be.
I'm fine with that. Just don't leave it in the parking lot. Don't just put your hands up like this and then get in your car and walk away.
People do all the time.
Sociopath.
People do all the time. Or they'll put it on like the grass before you get to the as if there's not places.
They put the front wheels up on the curb.
They pop the wheel up on the curb as if there's not places. You know,
have you guys ever stopped somebody from doing that? Called them out?
Yeah.
I've right in front of them taken the cart and went, I'll handle this.
Oh, then you just proved them right.
Dude, the amount of people who drive down the street and you've seen it. They're driving, you're behind them, and their window goes down and they just throw something out of it.
Oh my God.
Like those are people. They're all over here, dude. They're everywhere.
Ben's about to fucking detonate, dude.
Because I've thrown trash back into people's cars.
Yeah, it's some shit, man. I don't understand.
Can't do that in 2020. I'll get my face shot off.
Especially if everyone had laser eyes. You're definitely getting lasered, dude.
Especially if everyone had fucking laser eyes. You right.
That's a fun story though, right? Like, what if everyone woke up with powers?
It'd be a shit show for a while.
It'd be a fucking nightmare.
That'd be fucking terrible.
Most people put their cart back. I walked my cart all the way back into Home Depot's outdoor area and parked it back under the plants, like where I found it, because I didn't know where else to put it. Like,
so you can
walked it all the way back in the store.
They actually have outside ones for that.
I couldn't see it. I didn't. So I just fuck it. I just walked it back inside. But
just because you think that way, I don't think a lot of people do.
No, they don't. But I know that.
Here's my thing. I think
this 30 seconds of time that I'm saving, like my time is not that precious that I could just leave this in the parking lot.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
I'm much more patient.
I'm just a little bit more OCD, so that's what makes me bring it back. Right?
Oh, you know what? There's probably a bit of that too.
I'm a little OCD, so I'm putting it back. But I have come to the realization, just because, like, okay, ever since this pandemic, every time I drive at nighttime, even in the daytime, there's loads of people running red lights, right? Why? Right? Why would they do that? Why run a red light and then stop at the next one? And I'm right here with you now, right? is because I believe that most people are stupid.
Go on.
I believe that most people just do not have the mental capacity to outweigh the negative of what they're doing.
Do you think it's that, or do you think they just don't care?
No, I think the fact that they don't care, either they don't care or they're not smart enough to deduce how irresponsible that is, how stupid that is, because they're stupid. Their brain, like, you have to understand that people's brains aren't like all the same, right? Their capacity aren't the same. Some people are legitimately dumb. I think a lot of people are legitimately dumb.
Like over half?
I think over half.
Mm-hmm.
Over half.
Because look, wait, hold on. What is your best? Okay, you guys are all smart, right? I remember in middle school, I was in class, and the teacher said something about one person acting up, and they said, well, like, why can't you be like? And he named like 2 or 3 students. I was one of them. In your class, how many people were the smartest people in the class? It was never a lot.
No.
Everyone else was just kind of fumbling by, getting by, right?
Yeah, but
it wasn't a class full of A students.
But everybody else wasn't D and F students.
Yeah, it doesn't go like they're the best. Everybody else is dumb.
So look,
it's a
like,
sliding scale.
It is. But for the most part, people are they're smart. They're just. I just think they're dumb. For the most part, people who like, if you believe in both political parties. Like, you believe like your political party is better than the other person's political party, you're dumb. Because it's all one government. It's all a trick.
Oh. Ben did not like that at all.
No, he did not. I like that he didn't like it.
I hate Republicans.
I hear you though, but guess what? It's all for them, it's all the same. It's divide and conquer.
I mean, I think some people at the top think that AOC, who just went from bartending to bar exam to fucking Senate,
dude, of course,
she's not part of this fucking system. She is, but she isn't.
She is, though.
You know what I mean?
Right. But United States of America, we're the most divided country in the world based off of this 2 political party. We're idiots for buying into the lie that they're selling us.
Approximately 2/3 of the population's scores are between the IQ of 85 and 115.
Yeah.
66% of people are slightly in the range of slightly below to slightly above average.
So more than half are dumb.
More than half are bouncing around average. Dumb. What's the IQ of dumb? Like 55?
No, I'm gonna say listen.
If 100 is average, Tech, what's dumb?
It depends on where you are on the scale and relative to the scale.
For me?
Because if you're 85, you're like, oh man, you're 100, you're smart.
But
if you're 160,
it's a calculable thing.
I hear you.
Like it's not like my IQ is different because of it's my test. No, like where
isn't the IQ like extremely fallible too?
Yeah, probably.
Absolutely. They don't use it
anymore. I've from the entire life, I'm thinking like, there's no way this fucking test works.
All right, so let me tell you. So let me ask you this question, Ben. Let me ask you this one time.
Oh boy,
how
smart do I think I am?
No. I'm just gonna say this. Do you think the person who runs a red light is smart or dumb?
A habitual red light runner?
They're just running red lights.
Just that's what they do. That's their thing.
And then yeah.
Okay.
Or the dude on the highway doing 120. Do you think he's smart or dumb?
I don't think that those actions are denote any intelligence yet.
But
habitual. No, habitual, Caleb. Like every day they go to work, they fucking run all the lights.
I knew a guy who would drive over 100 miles an hour on the highway every time he drove on the highway. And he's very smart dude.
Very smart
dude. Yeah, he was just a really good driver.
I would say that.
But physics does not give a fuck about your good driving.
Certain actions.
No, but when you live in the middle of Illinois, you can go 120 miles an hour.
Dude, that's a whole different conversation. If there's no one on the highway,
we're talking about 120 on 270.
Okay.
Yeah. So sure, he's doing it because he's smart enough to understand that the risk is lower because no one's there.
Right.
He probably slows down before he turns.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The guy who goes to McDonald's or the lady or whatever, and they take their burger wrapper and they just toss it out the window. Do you think that's a smart person?
No.
I think that those actions denote more I don't give a fuck than I'm dumb. Oftentimes those two things are put together. But I also know smart people that don't give a fuck.
Smart people know that you can't throw trash out the window because it fucks up your planet. If everyone's like, smart people know that if everyone does that, we're gonna destroy this planet faster.
Well, wouldn't a smart person also know that there are people that are less lazy than him who are gonna pick it up for him? Or they're gonna be like, I'm not gonna destroy the planet, so fuck it.
Okay, let me finish this statistic.
2.5%. Sorry, go ahead.
2.5% of the population scores above 130 and 2.5% below 70. So we need to know
people are equal to stupid people.
percentage-wise.
Percentage-wise.
What IQ is stupid?
So I'll just say this. That means the smart people are on one end and the really dumb people are on one end, but there's dumb in the middle. There's dumb.
This is hilarious. I have to read this. It was once applied to people with an IQ of 51 to 70 being superior in 1 degree to imbecile.
Oh, yeah.
They're 1 degree away from being an imbecile.
Oh, yeah.
IQ of 26 to 50 are 2 degrees from idiot. And then 0 to 25 is probably handy. So
most people are dumb.
So I can't Google
most people are average.
How dumb are you if you throw trash out of it? What's your IQ if you're a litterer? IQ of litterers.
All right. Okay, all right. This is my last one. Right. Poor people who support Trump. Do you think they're smart?
I think they're being tricked.
Yeah, that's a tough equation because a lot of people are a lot smart. You can be smart and get lied to. You can buy a false bill of goods. I don't know, but
that was a good answer. I'll accept that, Caleb.
You can be smart and get tricked.
I'll accept that.
I think. What about anti-maskers? Are they right up there with flat earthers?
You have to if you're an anti-masker.
Are they lied to?
You
also?
have to be stupid, dude. Like
I'm just really fucking selfish.
We spent our 20s watching Zeitgeist and reading A Pale White Horse.
Yeah.
And thinking the government's out to kill everybody.
And
now the government's telling everybody to wear a mask. If we were in our 20s, we'd probably be marching without a mask down the Galleria Mall.
Not true. You know why? Because my existential crisis is greater than my conspiracy theories.
Yeah. I just think there's a lot of credence to people that don't tread on me people lining up with the anti-mask people because it's just no government, fuck you all the time. Get out of my life. I want to drink 64 ounces of Mountain Dew every day, and I don't want to wear my seatbelt, and I don't want to wear a motorcycle helmet, and I want to not wear a mask. Because you know what I'm saying?
They're stupid. So when I say that they're stupid, I don't mean like they're sitting there and like they can't think and they're drooling. Like they're to a degree. Like okay, what I won't say his name, but Caleb used to get with him every time he was on a podcast. He was toxic.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was like, who?
He's well-read, well-versed, articulate, yet stupid. He's like, I know his life. Like, I feel like he makes stupid decisions consistently. But it's also, I think I'm using it more of a broad statement and not like so like literal where like they don't know 2 + 2 or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I'm gonna bookmark this article because we are dipping into shit show territory, aren't we? It's an article from the Atlantic called "The War on Stupid." No, the War on Stupid People. So I think we do have to be careful, sort of like demonizing work. You know, a lot of times like my son's never going to be a plumber. You know, that kind of shit. Like, why the fuck not?
Plumbers make more money than a lot of people.
Right. And you know, people refusing to work fast food and stuff like that because you can't afford it, but I get it. But you know, the right?
Demonization, yes.
Demonization.
But see, like there's a stigma there, right? Like there's a misconception probably created by stupid people that plumbers are stupid, which is not true. Right. Or trade is stupid. Trade equals stupid. That's just not true. Like trade does not equal stupid. Being poor you know, like or refusing to work because you feel like you're better than is stupid in essence, if that makes sense. Like,
but like if it like
learning
if
learning a skill. And
if you look at the poorest parts of the country where they don't have they don't lionize education, right? As I've discussed with people close to me lately, for some people it's more, you have a better chance of getting into college on a sports scholarship than an educational scholarship, you know? So like obviously education, and then not to mention the whole anti-intellectual era we've kind of gone through, but you have entire portions of the country where people maybe don't know to not throw your trash out of the car.
Because why do they not know that? Because they can't
taught.
rationalize. No, they can't rationalize. If I would say that, like, as a child I knew that that's bad. Maybe it's Captain Planet's fault. I don't know.
It might honestly be. But all of learning from young adulthood is done through example.
So what is
and so young people that do dumb shit don't have good examples.
So what is lack of common sense if not
lack
a sign of intellectual?
It could very likely be the result of a lack of a good role model, the lack of good tutelage, and the lack of good parenting, which is neither the fault of the person nor in their power to change. Oftentimes,
we must stop glorifying intelligence and treating our society as a playground for the smart minority. We should instead be shaping our economy, our schools, even our culture with an eye to the abilities and needs of the majority and to the full range of human capacity.
So
government should, for example, provide incentives to companies that resist automation, thereby providing jobs for less brainy. It can also discourage hiring practices that arbitrarily and counterproductively weed out less well-IQ'd. Yeah, so I think there's
you don't have to build systems to help smart people. They help themselves.
Yeah. Right.
And we have an education.
There's a reason the coffee cup says "Don't pour this on your crotch."
Well, the reason being, someone took McDonald's to court and won a lot of money.
That's because it was way too hot.
That motherfucker.
Coffee should.
McDonald's actually fucked up bad.
Coffee should never mutilate your genitals.
They paid for that mistake.
Yeah, I love when people bring that up in public. You know, like, oh, I know, right? You got to put caution, coffee hot because someone spilled coffee in their lap, and I'm like, you know, why? That's a thing.
Well, I mean,
because she got third-degree burns from coffee that was legally too hot to sell.
It's a bad example, but they also say the plastic bags are not a toy.
Also, like, my favorite is the Coca-Cola can. It says you do not refill. Like, you cannot get this refilled. That means somebody took an empty Coca-Cola can
to the gas station.
It's like, hey man, top me back off.
I already bought this once. How many times do you want me to buy this?
That's fantastic.
And every other thing you can buy that's got Coke in it from a gas station can be refilled.
What?
Right? They've got cups that you refill with Coke, and if you hang on to the cup, you can bring it back and get Coke in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Interesting talk.
Let's head towards Rap Town.
The boys.
So
what do you guys?
I feel like the boys, they make a lot of stupid decisions. As everyone in the show,
a lot's out of their control too.
So what?
A lot's out of their control too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're sort of along for the ride.
Yeah. Huey's fumbling through this whole thing.
Yeah.
He never wanted to be a part of it from the beginning too. That's the other thing. Is that like
right.
Homie got dragged in. He just was selling TVs. Wanted to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. He got dragged into it, and he continuously gets dragged into it, and he's like the in too deep plot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Billy is just it's interesting to see what happens with Billy now because of his where's his motivation?
Can't say too much.
I know, but where's his motivation gonna lie? He obviously has a vendetta against Homelander.
Fuck that dude.
Yeah, your perceptions. Your perception on a great number of things, Caleb, after episode 4 are gonna change.
Yeah.
It changes. Episode 4 changes a lot.
Yeah.
Does it change? Fuck Homelander?
No.
Okay. Because I said that, and then you were like, your perceptions about the.
I thought you were gonna talk about me about liking Homelander. I like villains. Like sometimes I like a well-crafted villain. I think Homelander is a very well-crafted villain with a confusing past. Like just kind of like Joker, like Christopher Nolan's Joker. He has a confusing past, and I think it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts. Where do you think the show is gonna go?
Oh, I have no fucking idea.
I think that's the fun
Is that
part.
answerable?
Is that the
I
fun
think
part
it's the
about
best
it?
part. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Is that the
And might I add, because it's not bingeable, we get to fucking talk about it. You don't get to talk about shows anymore because somebody's either not started yet or in the beginning or 3 episodes from the end. This weekly shit is the way to go. Because I can't talk about Cobra Kai with people because they're at any different multiple stages of the show.
I have no
Have you
Well,
finished
also
it yet? No.
Well, also you started the show 3 years after it came out, so
But no, it's
that's
caught
why-
on now. Like people are watching it now. It's
Sure.
trending now. It's number 1 on Netflix.
But it's been out for years.
Doesn't matter. It's trending now. You know what I mean?
But
Like it
even
wasn't
if
trending when it
this
was
show-
new.
But if this show was out for years and showed up on Netflix and you just started it, you'd be complaining about a show that's years
Not the
old.
point. Everybody's
So,
talking
yeah.
about Cobra Kai because everybody's watching Cobra Kai now. But because it's not weekly, we can't have specific conversations about it. The reason we had such a great conversation about Boys is because we're all mostly in the same place. And that's because it's weekly.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So, and I'm
I've
anti-binge.
been
We all
I've
know
been
that.
binging it. I've been binging it though. So like
Well, you
But
playing
catching-
catch up, but like
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
different.
by next week,
Right.
you'll be with the same same speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, guys.
anti Benjamin.
Yeah, I watch shows very slow, so I'm anti-binge. So I
yeah.
watch like 10 hours of television a week tops.
Yeah, I don't watch that much TV. I've been watching a little bit more because like I had obviously I got sick the last couple of weeks, so I had to sit down.
Yeah. That's a good way to catch up on shit when you have nothing. When Amanda and I had Charlie, when we were home with Charlie, that first month she watched The Office for the first time. Like when you got nothing else to do it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you
Cheer.
for listening to this episode of the Nerdy Bits Show. Please visit our Patreon. You can find information at www.nerdybits.com.
cheer.
Podcast will be available on iHeart Podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, and Stitcher. I do like to say rest in peace to my friend Solo, Wes Allman Solo.
Yeah.
Good guy.
For sure.
Yeah, I won't talk about it because I had to do a Zoom call about it with like people who worked with him and everything like that, and I was speaking and then the emotion.
Yeah.
Every time I talk about it, I get emotional. So
Yeah.
But yeah. What do you guys have going on in the next couple weeks?
My game landed on Steam. That's very exciting for me.
That's awesome.
The website, also very emotional. The website put me as a concept artist, and game designer.
Ooh.
And that
Oh.
hit me right in the fucking solar plexus the other day. I was just like,
So,
so
can I-
I wanted to post it everywhere, but I wanted to fucking plaster it on fucking billboards. But
Sure.
it's I've wanted this for a long time.
So when
And we got
the car's speeding, is that your art?
so I didn't do any of the backgrounds, but I did all the vehicles. So each vehicle's got like 7 points of rotation, so that's pretty interesting. And then I'll be doing a lot of the story stuff too. But when it comes to design, he's like, "What do you think of this idea?" And I'm like, So we go back and forth on like almost every aspect. It's pretty interesting. So
Awesome.
he's really relying on me as a designer. And then we just got scouted by 11-Bit Studios, the people behind Moonlighter and
Frostpunk and a bunch of shit.
Frostpunk and a bunch of really big stuff. It's he retweeted us, so there might be a pretty lucrative
Hopefully.
possibility in the future. That's the ideal. And Butcher Queen's catching up, but I'm way behind. That's my life. Butcher Queen and Void Speed and teaching.
For me, working on just getting some production projects finished up. I've got some creative things lined up that I'm wanting to like find time for, and that's difficult when you're full steam ahead on doing podcasts and articles. So as soon as I can get through like a couple podcasts that are like mostly recorded and just need to be produced, and some articles, I can get those out of the way, then I'm going to focus more on writing fiction stuff because I have a couple of leads, and maybe working on a game that's going to be made into a mobile game soon. So more news on that when it's something that materializes. But yeah,
Awesome,
outside of
man.
that, not a ton.
Definitely want to see you creating stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I've realized after a while, like, I've just been doing nonfiction journalistic stuff for like 2 or 3 years, and I'm ready to like shift gears as a focus into getting back into more fictitious creation because that's where I think my soul lives.
Nice, man.
Oh, hey, also watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix. If you want any other influence to make you go fuck social media, watch that. That's really good.
I'll check it out. You're not
Yeah.
the first person
Does
to
it
tell me
cover
this week.
does it cover the angle of the entrepreneur?
What?
As in people who need it? Does it
No.
cover that angle? That's too bad.
Yeah.
I don't. Their angle is these people built these tools and don't even let their own kids use them because of how fucking dangerous they are.
What was that other one that was focused on the data harvesting? That was huge.
The Truth or something like that? Not The Truth, but it was. We all watched it. I think
the big something, right? The big lie or
the big lie. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Me and Kim are like, so we're done with all this shit, right?
Yeah. This one's people who like worked for Google and built their algorithms.
Yeah.
And worked for YouTube and built their like. The first guy that introduces himself is like, I'm the engineer of the like button and like just like features.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, and he's like, yeah, my kids don't go near any of this shit because it's dangerous. It's like, oh, fun.
Maybe it'll help you like tailor your online experience if you have to stay.
Oh, there's things I do now specifically because I watched this.
What's it called?
It's like, do not let the Social Dilemma. It's on Netflix. Do not let YouTube play a recommended video for you. Don't do it. Click them yourself. Because
Dilemma is probably the most phonetically accurately spelled word in the English language.
Fuck's pretty close. Yeah, don't let the algorithm pick shit for you on YouTube. It's made to weaponize your own brain against you. It's built for rabbit holes. And they don't build it to the content you want to watch. It's built towards content that has the deepest holes to keep you watching. It has nothing to do with finding something you want. It's all about finding something you're likely to click on or let happen.
I'm a YouTube reviews on it before I watch it.
What? I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm gonna YouTube it. All right, man. Let's get out of
what
here.
You got going on, my dude?
Oh, thanks for asking. I have nothing going. No, I have I think I'm nearing the completion of a music project, my seasonal Grooveland project.
Oh yeah.
So Grooveland 3. My main focus is Xbox Series 1X, or Xbox Series X. That's my main focus in life for the next week. Studio.
Pre-orders like next week.
Yeah. Getting in the studio, going back to work tomorrow in the studio, so I'm excited about that. And maybe kind of tightening up a little the content creation that I've started. I need to get back into a good groove. I think the sickness kind of derailed me a little bit.
Sure.
As far as like a schedule.
Justifiably so. Don't beat yourself up about that.
Well, now, yeah, I just need to get back on track and back focused on things that I've been doing. Yeah, graphic business is picking up, which is awesome.
Good.
So yeah, just keeping that going.
Yeah, it's been a very good summer for me, business wise.
I spent $500 on workout equipment this week. So
yeah,
getting back into that healthy groove.
Ben's Tech is now a customer at workout equipment place that they will look for next time he comes in. I go, hey, buddy, how's it going?
Last time I was there, he was like, hey, how'd you get that rack built? You know, like,
right.
Dude, like, literally remembered me. So
yeah,
I'm in there.
You're in.
Yeah.
In there like swimwear.
But okay, well, awesome podcast. I enjoyed it. And thank you guys for listening. Spread it, subscribe, do all the good things. And we will see you on the next one 2 weeks from today.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Peace.